Hey, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Fantasy Six Pack to talk about Monday Night Football. The Philadelphia Eagles fly all the way west to battle the Seattle Seahawks in that cold, damp, and dark field. But that field does get a rockin', if you know what I'm saying. Before I get into the point spreads and some final score stuff and some player projections, make sure you go to the website at fantasy6pack.net. When you get there, you can tell them I sent you, Beastie sent you, but any way you slice it, use promo code FF Playoffs and you'll get 25% off any premium package you want. And the cheapest one is $9.99, and that gets you the keys to the castle, the Discord, and the world famous rankings here. Always stay in the top 5, top 10 in seasonal formats. And with the fantasy football playoffs going strong, hopefully this is week 1. Hopefully, fingers crossed, you don't need much from this game. You're going to advance. But if you're already done and out, you can come hang with me, Dave and Keith, and we'll bring you the best DFS advice on the planet. Not to mention sports betting stuff, point spreads, things along those lines. Make sure you get to the website, use FF Playoffs, and we are off and rolling. Let's talk about this football game. Should be an instant classic, I think so. Philadelphia at Seattle. This one kicks off at 8:15 p.m. As it stands right now, the over-under, it opened at 47.5 points. That was a few days ago. As of right now, today, Monday afternoon, the over-under is at 45 even. So they shaved a couple points off that thing. That tells you a little story, but we won't get into that. We're just going to talk about the players here. And when you look at Philadelphia, 10-3, NFC East, they're still, I don't want to say finding their way, but Dallas got absolutely blown out yesterday by Buffalo, so they're battling back and forth. And right now, the Seattle Seahawks in the NFC West, they're 6-7. They need every win that they can get their hands on just to hope to make it to the wild card. But when we look at what happened last week for Philadelphia, well, and I have some little side notes here. It's funny, right? The Dallas Cowboys got absolutely wailed on last night by Buffalo, but last week Dallas was doing the beating and they beat the brakes off Philadelphia. Philadelphia turned the ball over 3 times. They lost by 20 to Dallas. They gave up 400 yards, something along those lines, and 33 points. So as it stands right now, Philadelphia kind of licking their wounds heading into this one. But again, the Philadelphia Eagles will be okay, and they in Seattle. I think everything is going to be fine, and it could be is it a get right game? I don't want to say that because right now Seattle is a very dangerous team, and then they can get it rolling. But we got this Geno Smith. Is he sick? Is he not going to play? Drew Lock, kind of came in last week in relief of him and played pretty well. So more will be shown to us at a later time, hopefully right before lock. Let's talk about the players and let's get right into Jaylen Herz. When you look at him, 17 grand on FanDuel, 11-4 on DK. The Seattle Seahawks, 20th overall against opposing quarterbacks. And when you look at Jaylen Herz, he's dealing with an illness himself, whether it's a flu or a cold. Obviously, if it's COVID, he wouldn't even be, on the field. So I hope Jaylen Herz is well enough to play. More than likely, this kid is a gamer. He will be active. I have him 21 to 22 completions, around 250 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and then another touchdown on the ground. So 3 total touchdowns, and you're looking at 9 to 10 carries for another 45 to 50 yards. So 300 all-purpose yards and 3 touchdowns for Jaylen Herz. What's new? The sun sets and rises in the east and the west. Jaylen Herz is a stud. When we look at the Seattle quarterbacks here, I'm in a strange spot here, right? Geno Smith, right? 13 grand on FanDuel, 9-4 on DK. Drew Lock, 13 grand on FanDuel, 9-2 on DK. It's like, which way do you go? So I'm going to give projections, and whatever quarterback starts, those are the projections I have. So as it stands now, 22 to 23 completions, 270 yards, 2 touchdown passes, and around 3 to 4 carries for 10 yards. That's for Geno Smith. If Drew Lock is the quarterback here tonight, I think it's the same across the board in terms of passing yardage, the 2 touchdowns, passes for him. I just don't think Drew Lock has the rushing potential that Geno Smith would have. So, Drew Lock, if you're playing, let's run it. And you're going against Jaylen Herz in a primetime game, kid. This is so exciting. When we look at the running backs here, it's DeAndre Swift, and it's DeAndre Swift for the Philadelphia Eagles. We know this guy came from Detroit, and can he take a hit? Can he, and he has, and he's been great. Hasn't missed much time, if at all. But here today, Philadelphia is going to really need Swift services, and I think they get him. Get this, Seattle, 28th overall against opposing running backs. So Swift has a chance here to just really go off. I have him 13 to 14 carries, 65 to 70 yards, 3 to 4 receptions, 20 yards. Can he find the end zone? That's the, if I have Hertz for 2 touchdown passes, where are they going to go? Hopefully, fingers crossed to A.J. Brown, but Swift is always a threat to find the end zone on the ground in the way he runs, so mean and in your face. And Kenny Gainwell, nothing crazy there. We can pass him up. Boston Scott, nothing going on there. Then we get to Kenneth Walker III. This guy is the epitome of a running back. If I could make a running back in a lab or something, I would pick Ken Walker because of how he's built and how he runs. I absolutely love Ken Walker III, but Philadelphia, first overall against opposing running backs. But again, in the way in which Kenneth Walker runs the football, I think he's going to love this challenge. They're just going to go head-to-head all game, man. Just slapping helmets and banging and clanging and whatever you're going to do there. I got Kenneth Walker, 13 to 14 carries, 55 to 60 yards, and a touchdown on the ground. And his price tag, not that bad. He's $11,000 on FanDuel, 7-8 on DK. What are we going to do with the rookie Zach Charbonnet, who could you say he showed well in KW3's absence? Well, yes and no. He was put in kind of an impossible spot, right? And he was averaging 3.2 yards a carry, 2.7. It got pretty nasty there at the tail end. But Zach Charbonnet has to be on our radar tonight. 9-5 on FanDuel, $4,000 on DK, 7-8 carries, 35 to 40 yards, and a few receptions for around another 20 yards. When we move on to the wide receivers, this is where I'm so amped up. And let me say this briefly. We're at the 7.5 minute mark. We're going to get out of here at around 10, 11 minutes. I promise you that. But in a very pivotal seasonal playoff matchup, I still have a chance. I'm the 8th seed. My friend, her name is Britt. If you guys know her, she's the number 1 overall seed. I beat her for the championship last year, and she's got a chance to oust me in the first round and exact revenge. But I'm still hanging in there. I need a miracle, and I need A.J. Brown to just go nuts. And if that happens, I would send Britt packing. Would I feel bad? Yes, but only for a short period of time. So, Britt, yeah, it's you and me tonight, and we will go from there. But when we look at A.J. Brown against Seattle's 28th overall against opposing wide receivers. So him, Skinny Batman, a.k.a. Devonta Smith, can have their way, through the air tonight. When you look at A.J. Brown, 10-11 targets, 7-8 receptions, 110 yards, and a touchdown pass or reception. I have it there. Realistically, I know this is bad journalism or bad broadcasting, right? I would normally project A.J. Brown to score twice, but that would be going out on an outlandish limb. But I really do feel like A.J. Brown has a shot here tonight to put up 100+ yards and to catch 2 touchdowns, and we will move on from there. When you look at Devonta Smith, 12-5 on FanDuel, 9,000 on DraftKings, 6 to 7 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 65 to 75 yards, a very a beautiful stat line alone. Quez Watkins, Olamide, I'm good there. When you look at the Seattle Seahawks wide receivers, again, this is one of the beautiful spots of attacking this game because Philadelphia is dead last against defending opposing wide receivers. And last I looked, it was a scroll across the screen. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I should have, I do so much research to bring you these videos to begin with. I apologize if I tell you that I'm almost certain I read that Darius Slay is inactive tonight. If that's the case, then it's going to be a party for DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett and the Jackson Smith Najigba, even Jake Bobo. I tweeted out, I think maybe he scores a touchdown here, but let's go up to DK really quick. 14-5 on FanDuel, 9-6 on DK. And when you look at Metcalf, 8 to 9 targets, 5 to 6 receptions, 85 to 90 yards, and he will catch a touchdown. When you look at Tyler Lockett, 6 to 7 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 55 to 60 yards. The rookie JSN, I have him 5 to 6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 55 to 60 yards. And then Jake Bobo, 1 to 2 targets, 1 to 2 receptions, 10 yards. If he scores a touchdown, that would be great. I would just lock that anytime touchdown bet in, put $10 on it. You probably get 500 back based on the odds on that one. So when we look at the tight ends, not much going on. Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant, Colby Parkinson, not really in my atmosphere here tonight. The Seattle Seahawks are 15th overall, defending opposing tight ends. So maybe there's a case to be made for Dallas Goedert, right? He first game back last week, and he's got his legs about him now, and Jaylen Herz can really trust him, in a pinch. What if Jaylen Herz is, he is battling, the flu or a stomach issue, and he's tired, and he needs water, and he's dehydrated, and he's on the field. He's playing on Monday Night Football, and he just needs to get the ball out and away so the play can be over, so he can slug some Gatorade. I don't know, but I would imagine that would be Dallas, where Dallas Goedert comes in, and I have Goedert 5 to 6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 45 to 50 yards. Noah Fant, nothing crazy, 25, 30 yards total. Colby Parkinson, 10 yards total, and that's about it. When we look at the DSTs here, I would prefer the Eagles just based on we don't know what the quarterback situation is at this moment in time, right? Geno Smith turns the ball over, right? Drew Lock has never really caught on as the stud quarterback that we were promised, or were we ever promised that Drew Lock was going to be a stud quarterback? But give me the Eagles DST all day. They're 9-5 on FanDuel, 4-6 on DK. They're just going to make life a living hell for any Seattle quarterback, whether it's Geno or Drew Lock. We're looking at sacks, interceptions, fumble recoveries. We know the weather's going to be nasty up there in Seattle, so give me the Eagles DST all day. When it comes to the kickers, nothing stands out to me. I would prefer the Eagles kicker just because I have Philadelphia to score 30 plus points. So you're looking at extra points, you're looking at field goals, and that would be Jake Elliott. Let me give you a couple recent betting trends. I'll give you the final score, and we'll get the heck out of here, and we'll be able to enjoy Monday Night Football, baby. The total has gone over in 4 of Philly's last 6 games. Philly 10-3 straight up the last 13. Philly 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games against Seattle. So that's a legit one, right? Philadelphia 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games against Seattle. So that tells you the Eagles don't cover when they play Seattle. When you look on the opposite side of things, the total has been under in 6 of Seattle's last 6 games when they play Philadelphia. So it's looking like an under, not a game under, but if you can kind of focus in and just do the Philadelphia line under, and then just do the Seattle line, not the game under, but the individual team unders, I would do that. And last but not least, Seattle 1-5 straight up their last 6 games. So this is how I see it playing out. Jaylen Herz and the Philadelphia Eagles get right. They play well. They send Seattle. Well, Seattle's already home, but they're going to send them home with a loss. And it's relatively not going to be close. I think Philadelphia wins this one 31-10, 31-14, something along those lines. So A.J. Brown with a huge game to send me over the top and into the second round. Very selfish of me to say that on a video to all of you, but I appreciate all the likes and the views that you guys and girls give me. I love you so much. Christmas is right around the corner. Make sure you get to the website, get to the Fantasy Six Pack Discord. Can tag me anytime. Say, hey Chris, what's going on? I need some juice here, and we will go from there. So give me the Philadelphia Eagles to win this one. Let's call it 31-10. And we will go from there. I will see you soon. Bottom of the barrel quarterbacks out tomorrow. Be good, be safe. Bye-bye.